Hello, welcome back to the vlog. I'm heading out to my sister's right now because we have a really important meeting for something that's so exciting that you will know about literally in the next couple of weeks. Like, it's getting so close. It's crunch time. There's so much going on. I'm so excited. I can't wait to just finally like talk about it. It's kind of the same with the pregnancy. Like, I've been dealing with the pregnancy for a few months and it was really hard to just not talk about it. I just wanted to make sure everything was like good and safe before I felt comfortable speaking about it on social media. But with this project, I've been working on it for 5 years. Ugh. So I feel like even though it's just a few weeks away, I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, it's feeling like forever. We're just crawling to the finish line, you know? But we're just going over some like website design and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm very excited. I also want to update you guys on my skincare because I've been getting a ton of questions about my skin, especially if you've been following me since my last pregnancy and you remember how bad my skin was, or you just know about my skin in general. I actually went to a dermatologist in, was it November? I think it was November, maybe early December. I can't really remember the exact date that I went, but I found a new place and they did like these specific photos to look at the different layers of my skin and also to see exactly what my issues were, so that way I could figure out what was going on. And I started using a new product, which I'm very happy about. I feel like for my skin, it's worked a ton, specifically with like scarring and dark spots. That was like something I didn't even realize I had, like all the sun damage that is hard to see to the eye, but it's there if you see it with this photo. And then I went back recently to get after photos done, and you could see a difference just from switching like one product and my skincare routine kind of. And I just feel like it's helped a lot. Obviously in pregnancy, like hormonal acne and stuff, it happens. Like, I'm getting acne on my chest, my back, like that's something that's unavoidable and it will go away when I give birth. Happened the first time, it will happen the second. But to tackle like the sun damage, the skin texture, dark spots, scarring, all of that has nothing to do with pregnancy, I've been able to do it with products that are pregnancy safe. So I'll talk about that in a second. I just have to head to my sister's because I don't want to be late. I don't want to be late to this meeting. Okay, I'll update you in a second. Just made it to Kyla's. I need to do my hair today, but it's so funny how this is like now getting to be a crop top on me. Oh my god. It's like the stomach's sticking out. Makes me excited. I got these pants postpartum after Archie. I think they're from Garage. Ooh. Like from so long ago, and I love them, but there's holes in them now. I don't know how to fix that. Are you so excited?
So excited. How are
you doing?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. All good. How did the shoot go?
It was really well.
Really good.
We still want to get some content that is, hi, some fun things. It's just been snowing and raining every day, so we've been waiting for like just a nice day to be able to do that.
No, it looks really good though. The content's really nice.
Were you sent over the final round of edits?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
We've put some of the content on the website, but I think it's the old content, so we'll just need to refresh it.
Okay.
But, do you guys want to see how it's looking?
Yes.
I think it looks so nice. I hope you do as well.
I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, already. Oh, I already love it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back home now. The meeting went so good. I'm very excited to start talking about everything. I feel like within the next week, we have a plan now. Within the next week of you watching this video, you will know what's going on. But I'm gonna pull my hair back. If you see these German marks, I get them all the time. I'm wearing my glasses, and you guys know I have glasses that I wear every single day. I do have contacts, which are not an everyday thing because they're not my exact prescription. The prescription is good, it's just the astigmatism is a little off because it's so expensive to have my exact astigmatism. So I do feel like I get kind of dizzy when I wear them every day. So I just keep them for events and stuff. I want to talk about skin because I'm not wearing anything on my face right now. I am having a bit of a rosacea flare-up, which I learned through the dermatologist that rosacea specifically cannot be treated by any kind of serum or cream. It is just the blood vessels under your skin are a lot more exposed, and there's like 2 types of treatments you can get with a dermatologist, like the laser treatment, IPL, I think. Most of them are not 100% recommended during pregnancy, so I'll look into that later. But when it comes to my sunspots, my aging spots, and my like dark spots and post-acne scarring, that is something that I was not aware of how intense it was. So I'll insert some footage of when I went to this dermatologist place. It was actually really cool because I'd never done this before. It scans your face, you put your head into this like box, and they take photos of you looking one way, this way, and then the other sides, and you get a full photo of everything. You could see different layers, you could see sun damage, you can see, well, obviously I saw my rosacea like on blast. I'm like, whoa. It was also during a time where I was extremely nauseous and sick, so I didn't get much footage of, like, I got the footage when I was there doing the process, but like just being at home and stuff, I couldn't get out of bed and I was very, very sick. So I don't really have any footage, but you guys know how my skin has been. So going back just like 2 weeks ago and seeing the progress that I couldn't even really see to the human eye, like you can definitely tell a difference, but to see how much of a difference internally that it made I was shocked, honestly. Like I knew it was gonna work because it had been just a few weeks, but I didn't think it was gonna be that much. I didn't use any of their products like at the dermatologist office. I wanted to find something that I could use that was affordable, that you could find at the drugstore, that was safe for sensitive skin. So this just launched in Canada. So excited about it. This product right here from L'Oreal, you can see here, hopefully. This is the Dark Spot Serum Bright Reveal. 12% niacinamide inside of it. And if you don't know what that is, which I feel like it's kind of new to the market since the past, I would say, year, a lot of dermatologists recommend it because it helps to brighten your skin. So in turn, it reduces the appearance of dark spots, whether that be from the sun, whether that be from age, post-acne. Like that's what I was dealing with a lot of, and the sunspots. And I wear sunscreen, but I never wore sunscreen as a teenager or in my early 20s, and I was a lifeguard and was outside every single day just in the sun, oiled up. Not good, but I've been really good with my sunscreen like over the past few years. And so it is just so important to wear sunscreen even in the winter. The UV rays still come through the windows, so yeah, important to always wear sunscreen no matter what time of the year it is. Oh my gosh, my camera battery just died, so I had to switch it. Sorry if the angle is changed. But this also includes 2 ingredients, which I'm gonna butcher their names because when I brought this in to show the dermatologist, because I just wanted her opinion on it, like looking through the ingredients and everything, she had a very thick accent, so that's not helpful. And then Google also did not help. There was 2 different versions how to say it. But amino sulfonic and ferulic acid, those just both help to gently exfoliate. So the 3 of the main ingredients are those 2 things plus the niacinamide, which is 12%, and it is so great. I'm so excited this finally launched in Canada. But with any serum, you wanna really, so you wash your face, and every single person might have a different routine. For me, I wash my face. I keep my face a bit damp, and when your skin is a little bit damp, it absorbs a lot better into like the deep layers of your skin. I make sure I'm getting around all the areas where the sun would normally hit or where I notice the most dark spots. You know, if there's any dark spots that are appearing on my hands, the age spots show soonest on your hands, I just kind of, you know, put it in there. It's a very, very light scent. It's not too overpowering. It does not burn. It's very simple, very subtle, extremely affordable, and does so much. And so the dermatologist said probably after 6 months of use, like 3 to 6 months, you'll see like more of a drastic difference, because I could see a small difference, and she was pointing out like, oh wow, it really helped around here. It also helped with my oil. For an option that is affordable in the drugstore on the market right now, this is a perfect product if you want to try it out. And thank you so much to L'Oreal for sponsoring this video. I am very excited. I've worked with L'Oreal for literally years. They're one of my favorite brands to work with. And I've been using L'Oreal literally since high school, when I started learning how to do makeup and skincare and all that kind of stuff. So big fan, but specifically this product. One thing I forgot to say, I do use this every morning and night after I wash my face. Still keep it a bit damp, put the serum on. I let that dry into my skin, and then I apply my moisturizer, and depending on like day or night, the moisturizer changes, but I always apply SPF after the moisturizer in the morning throughout the whole day. So it's just so important to put on your SPF, like out of anything, SPF. But if you do have age spots, if you do have acne spots or any kind of dark spots from the sun, and it's something that you've been wanting to find a product that wasn't so expensive but that still worked really well and was recommended by a dermatologist, highly recommend this. I really liked the results that I got in the 12 weeks between. Come summer, I think if I were to go back to the dermatologist and take more photos, you would see even more of a difference just because of how it works over time. Gentle, easy to use, perfect for sensitive skin, affordable, all of that jazz. And if you don't know what niacinamide is, it's basically just vitamin B3. So very good for your skin. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this pregnancy. Just give you a few updates of some common questions I've been getting on Instagram that I feel like I haven't spoken about much here. While I do a little bit of makeup, not much, because I honestly don't feel like I need much. I just want to be able to get some content done after, so do a little bit. So baby names, that's a huge thing. We don't actually have a name. When I got pregnant with Arky, Dan and I had picked the name Arkham like 5 years before we even got pregnant. It was just something that we were like, if ever we have a son, we're gonna name him Arkham. And then the night before I found out I was having a boy, Dan and I were at the movie theater. We were watching the Joker, because that's what had come out at the time. And he walked into the town of Arkham, and there was like a big sign that said Arkham. And we just looked at each other and we're like, yeah, we're having a boy. And then we obviously did. We just knew it was a sign. This time around, we didn't know, because we didn't want to talk about names until we knew the sex of the baby, because we didn't want to fall in love with one and then find out the sex was the other one, and then we would be like, oh man, we can't use that name. But we really like a lot of gender neutral names. Like, I've always really liked the name Charlie for a girl. I don't know, there's just certain names that were typical like boy names when I was a kid growing up that I actually really like on a girl. So we were kind of like, I guess it doesn't really matter if we start talking about stuff. So we definitely have a list of names we like. There's one in particular that we really love, and we think that's gonna be the name, but we have like 3 options that we also like. So I think we're just gonna wait until the baby is here and then decide. Like, I never really understood that, because I was like, a baby doesn't look like a name. I think it's more just the feeling that we'll have when the baby is here. At least that's what people have explained to me in the past of what it's been like for them. So I don't know. I had a long list of boys and girls names, and I was going over it with Dan, and like there's so many. He was like, no. And it felt like that episode on Friends where Ross and Rachel were talking about names, and it was like Vito, and then Phoebe was like, oh, Vito. But yeah, then there was a couple that we really liked. Like, he would think of a name and I would be like, no. And then there was a few that I thought of that he really liked. And then I don't know, we kind of like, once we figured out, okay, these are the types of names we both usually agree on, then it was easier to just go on baby name lists or like find TikToks of just baby names and find a list. Because since we weren't looking at a specific sex, we didn't care. We just wanted to find names that could be one or the other, that could be used for one or the other. So for example, one of the names I really liked, that I liked more for a girl than a boy, was the name Sailor. I thought that was such a cute name. Kristen Cavallari, her daughter is named Sailor, and I just always have really loved it. And Dan did not. He right away was like, nope, I'm just thinking of a sailor on a boat. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But like, I like that. Somewhat of a vibe of what we're going for. Something that's unique, but not as unique as Arkham. Like, people are like, oh, you're gonna have like the most unique name for this next baby. And we're like, oh, we definitely don't want a super common name. Like, I don't want the name to be in the top 100, but I don't mind if it's like, if I know there's other babies named that name, you know? Like with Arkham, it was so unique. People were like, what is that? And or if they knew what Batman was, they're like, that's so cool. But yeah, we're not like picking a name from a comic book or anything like that. It's not like a theme that we're going with. We're just going based off of names that we like when we hear them. Another name that I really liked, and it could be like, I've heard it more for a boy, so I still think it's so cute for a boy, but I really liked it for a girl, and that's Scotty. But it was like, I remember I was probably like 9 weeks at the time, and I was like, what about the name Scotty? And I was thinking like, okay, if we have a boy, I like Scotty, but if we have a girl, I like Scotland, and then Scotty for short. And Scotland spelled like S-C-O-T-T-L-I-N. And I was thinking that because literally found out we were pregnant right before Scotland. And I was like, oh, Scotland would be kind of a cool name, but like spelled differently. But then when I brought up Scotty to Dan, he was like, all I think about is Scotty doesn't know, na 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 na. And he's like, I just can't, like, I can't not think of that. I was like, yeah, but you would think of your child. And he's like, no. So again, just something that like a vibe of what we're going for. We're obviously not going to share the name until baby is here, just because we want to avoid judgment. Like, we knew when we were naming our kid Arkham that people would judge it. Like, we just, I mean, it's a very unique name. And we were like, people are either going to really like it or they're going to think it's weird. And we just don't want to hear comments, because for some reason people love to comment on the name. And if they don't like it, they'll try to, at least in my opinion, switch your mind. But if it's already the baby's name, it's like, sorry, this is the baby's name, can't say anything. People still might say something, but it's not the same as, you know, most people won't. I don't mind a popular name. Like, okay, for example, my name is Alexandra, and growing up, it was like the most popular name. There was a few years in swimming where we were 6 Alexes in a group of like 30 kids. And there was always another Alex in my class, whether it be a boy or a girl. I liked that my name is Alexandra, but I liked Alex for short because it kind of was like gender neutral. I've always liked that. My mom was the same. She always liked that. That's why they chose my name. I was like, I don't know, like if we were to have another boy, if I want something that can be gender neutral, if I want something that's, you know, classically quote unquote more masculine, if I want something a bit more unique from a book, like I'm in my fantasy era, right? So like all these super unique names, I'm like, whoa, those are so cool. But I don't want to also pick a name from a book that's starting to gain in popularity, like A Court of Thorns and Roses, and then like everyone and their freaking friend is gonna name their kid Rhysand or Farah or something like that. You know, it's like when Twilight came out and then like one of the most popular names was Bella of like those next few years. I'm not saying it's exactly gonna be that way, but I was just like, ugh, I don't want to use something that's coming up in popularity just because I know what it's like to have such a common name. But then my sister, Kyla, who is a pretty uncommon name, it's not as popular as like Kylie or Kaylee or Kayla. She always was frustrated because people would always call her either Kayla, Kylie, like they would never get her actual name right, and it bothered her so much. So having a unique name sometimes can have its downfalls as well. But I don't know, I'm not gonna like pick a name solely for that purpose. I want to pick something that I also like. And then as for middle names, we always do something that's a bit more personal. So we do have middle names, we just are undecided on the names. But I'll read to you a few of my lists that I liked for boys and girls that we're not using, just in case you guys want, I don't know, any ideas. And I'll definitely probably have a bigger list that I'll do like a whole video about it. Maybe I'll do a TikTok. It's like easier to have it just be that video. That's my simple makeup. I don't think I'm gonna do my hair, honestly. I'm gonna keep it natural for the next few days before I wash it. So I really liked the name Bo for a boy. I thought that was such a cute name. I actually don't know anyone with that name, but I do know there's people on social media that have that name, like their son has that name, and I just really like it. I like that it's also French. Obviously, I live in Quebec, which is a French province in Canada. And, you know, everyone was like, well, what are people gonna do when your son goes to school and they can't pronounce his name? But like every French person has looked at his name and went, Arkham, like it's not hard. I guess it's because there's a lot of ethnic people in Montreal, and Akram is like a pretty popular name. So I think they're just like, you just have to switch the K and the R. So Akram was like, they're used to saying it, so they just look at it and they go Akram. It's not hard. I don't know. They have no issue pronouncing it. So that was something that I was maybe thinking of, but it's not like, obviously if I'm gonna name my kid Scotty, that's not a French name. But it is convenient living where I live to have a name that is easier to pronounce in French. Like my sister, they would, if they said Kyla, it would be Kila. You know, it's not like super easy to say in French. So I liked the name Callan for a boy. I actually liked it for a girl too, but I had it in my boy list. I thought maybe Callie for short. Callie I find cuter for a girl, but Callan I just liked for a boy. I also don't need it to match with Arkham. Like Callan and Arkham could sound really cool together, but like Bo and Arkham obviously does not match. So I don't really care. I also don't care about like lengths of names. If it's short, that's cool. If it's long, cool. Then they'll have a nickname. Like, I don't know. I'll probably have a nickname even if they have a short name, you know? Okay, don't laugh, but I had Azrael because I just thought that was such a cool name. And I was like, ooh, Arkham and Azrael, or Az for short. Like, I don't know, I just thought it was cool. I know someone named Oz, like a boy named Oz, and that was cool, like Oz and Az. I like very weird names. Wesley I liked for boy or for girl, but I don't know, for either, I didn't really care. I was like, Wesley's kind of cute. Wes for short, and then Paul Wesley, like, I just love him, but I like the name itself. We're not sure what we're using yet, so I don't want to say all of them just in case we come back to this list and I'm like, actually I like that name. For a girl, I really liked, like I said, Sailor, but I also liked it Sayla, S-A-Y-L-A. It's kind of like Sailor and Kyla, Sayla. I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool. I also wrote Wesley, Callan. I heard this on TikTok and I put it on my list and I said it to Dan and he was like, immediately no. Poet. I don't know why. I think that's so pretty. If you're just some girl, like, just like some cool girl and your name is Poet, like Poe for short. I just thought that was so pretty, and it kind of pained me that Dan hated it right off the bat. But I only liked it for a girl. I didn't like it for a boy. So I was like, okay, well, whatever. Like, it's only if we end up having a girl will I like this name. So it was more like the names that we could use for both that I really wanted to agree on. But still, if you're having a girl and you like the name Poet and your significant other likes it as well, cute name. Okay, this one I actually don't really like anymore, but, oh, and by the way, if anyone has named these names and I'm saying I don't really like them, don't take it personally, okay? Like, Ira, I think that's how you pronounce it, E-I-R-A. It is really pretty. Kind of reminds me of Isla, I-S-L-A, but spelled like different, but the same kind of vibe. I thought that was pretty. Scotland, Scotty, I wrote. And then Aurora was on my list for a girl, but specifically the French version, which is Aurore. But then it reminded me too much of that like really sad story of the girl from like 1912 or whatever. It's a famous story in Quebec of this girl named Aurore who was like, had to do with like abuse and stuff. I don't know. It's a really, really sad story, but her name was Aurore. And I remember growing up, I was like, that is such a pretty name. And now Aurora is really popular. It's on like every baby names list, which it's such a beautiful name. Like, I love it. But then I liked the fact that Aurore was a little bit different than Aurora. Like, you take out the A and you just have an E. So Aurore, if you were to just say it English, which I don't like it said that way, but Aurore is just very pretty in French. But then I didn't like the way it sounded in English, and I also didn't like that it reminded me too much of that story in Quebec, which you'll only really know if you're from Quebec, if you even know that story. There was a movie that was made in like the 2000s about it, but and I remember just always really liking it, but specifically in French. And I don't like that for a boy. So those are just some of the names that we had been thinking of that we're definitely not using. I still do have kind of a longer list of names that are potential. We have 3 that we both really agreed that we like. We have 1 top contender and then 2 like maybes. But then I have like still another little list that could be potential. Like Dan didn't say no, but we definitely like the other ones better. But you never know. You never know. I like just have them on my list. I do really love nature names. Like I love the name River. It's popular. So that's like the only thing. I like Meadow. I like Willow. I like whimsical names. Farah, I would obviously love F-E-Y-R-E, like in ACOTAR, but I just have this feeling that like it's gonna be a popular name in the next coming years just because of how insanely popular ACOTAR is getting. I feel like every single person now is posting on their story, like starting the series, let's see if it's worth the hype, and I'm like, oh, enjoy the ride. Or like Resand, I feel like Reese, it's just gonna be a really popular name. Maybe spelt differently, I don't know, because I feel like unless you knew the pronunciation, everyone said Rysand or Rise, I don't know. I listened to the audiobook of ACOTAR, so obviously the voice actor said everything correctly, so I never knew people were pronouncing it differently other than Resand or Reese and Farah. So when I saw all these TikToks of people being like, what, that's how you say his name? And then I don't know, because after when I was reading them, because I had already heard how it was pronounced, I read it properly, but like thinking back to it, if I were to have just read it, I definitely would not have read it as Resand because it's spelt R-H-Y-S-A-N-D. I would have pronounced it as Rysand or something like that. It's kind of like when I read Harry Potter when I was 8 before the movies came out. I pronounced Hermione as Hermione because I didn't know it was pronounced Hermione. Anyways, this is getting to be a really long video. Get excited for things to come. I cannot wait to share with you what we've been working on. I'm not 100% sure when this video is coming out, so I don't want to say what it is in case, but I will have a vlog all about that. And yeah, I'm very excited. So if it is out, or if we have spoken about it by the time this video comes out, I'll link it down below. But if not, I hope you're enjoying your day. I love you guys so much. Again, thank you so much to L'Oreal for sponsoring today's video. I'm gonna have also links down below in the description for you to check out if you want to read anything up on the product, but it is available now in Canada if you want to check out your local pharmacies. Highly recommend. And take before and after pictures. You'll see for yourself the difference it's making, especially if you have dark spots, depending on what you get them from. Like I said, either the sun, age spots, or acne spots. Mine were definitely more sun damage, which was eye-opening. And I have like acne scars. Anyways, very happy. I'm gonna continue to use this every single day and night. And you will see by the summer, I feel like it's gonna be so much better.
All right, I was just editing some like voiceover clips in my car because this is like the best place for sound for all of my videos. And I just wanted to hop on here really quick because I did get the final approval date of what I've been working on, and I've been hinting at it this whole video, but by the time this video comes out, I will have already announced it on social media. So my sister and I came out with a clothing brand. We are so excited. It's called TOMO the Label. You would have seen in the intro, I am going to include some clips of like our first time seeing the final products when we were shooting. We're so grateful, so excited about this. This is something I've been working on literally for 5 years. Not like just these pieces, but trying to get this brand up and running. And I brought my sister in on it 2 years ago. So it's been a really long and challenging process, but it's something that I'm so passionate about and something I'm so excited for. And I cannot wait for you guys to get your hands on it. We are launching officially on March 7th, and I will have a link down below for the newsletter if you guys want to sign up with your email. It's free. It's just to get notified of like when everything is dropping, because we do have limited stock. So I don't know how quickly things are going to sell. Like, we just never know with these things, right? Like, I remember when I came out with the first round of candles I did with Smellies, I had no idea how that was going to go, and because we had nothing to base it off of, and things sold out like that. So you never know with clothing, you never know with price points. I'm going to go over this all in detail in like a separate vlog, but essentially all the materials are sourced as like best we could with the price that we have. Like, we put all of our money into this, so we're obviously not extremely wealthy people, and starting a business is very, very expensive. But we didn't want to just source all of our stuff from China for super cheap and then like get stuff made in factories there, and like we didn't want the whole fast fashion thing. So we kind of found a good middle ground. All of our like labels and shipping materials are all compostable, recyclable, like very, very sustainable. Our pieces are all kind of made to be used any time of the year, no matter where you are in the world. They're like capsule pieces, so they could be part of a capsule wardrobe. You can pull them out whenever. We just were trying to find something on the market that was versatile for any body type, but also for whatever occasion you're doing. So you can dress things down, you can dress things up. For now, we only have a few pieces because, like I said, we're just launching. We do have plans to come out with more stuff in the future. I don't know when that's gonna be because it all is depending on how this stuff goes. Our size range is from 2XS to 3XL, so we do have a very, very big size range. The materials are amazing. Everything feels so comfy, so soft. They wash amazing, which is something that I really, really wanted to make sure was good. So every sample that I got, I was like washing multiple times, seeing like how things held up over periods of time. And in the summer, I was actually wearing a lot of the pieces, and I would post about them, and like people would ask me to tag it, and I just never did because I couldn't. But now I can. Anyways, we really talked in detail about this on the podcast if you want to go listen, but I will answer any questions if you have any. But yeah, sign up for the newsletter down below if you want to be first to be notified of anything. And I cannot wait. This is like my dream, my baby, and I love the name. Anyways, I'm excited, and I love you guys, and I'll talk to you all in the next video. Bye.